Hi. Well, I'm coming to you live from the Icon of the Seas, and we're at sea sailing in the Caribbean. It's a beautiful ship. I'm here with my lovely wife on our 50th wedding anniversary cruise, and we're having a very good time. And as you can see, the ship is magnificent. There's all kinds of venues and different things going on. And this is just a small part. This is just the back end of the ship, or aft, I guess they would call it. But anyway, I thought we'd just check in with you and tell you we're having a great time, and we wish you were here also. That would be fun too. So anyway, until I see you again, I'm signing out. This is Bill Cartwright.
Welcome to What's Happening in Miami County. Here's your hosts, Don Smith and Bill Cartwright.
Hi, I'm Don Smith, and normally you'd go right to Bill Cartwright, but guess what? Today he's not with us, and we have a very, very special person who's guest hosting with me today, and her name is Melinda Silman. And Melinda has lots of experience with TV and cameras because she's the voice of the parades in Piqua most of the time.
Well, I'm so happy to be here. This is pretty exciting, and I hope I do a good job for you.
Well, you're sharing the stage with my turkey here. We got the turkey because, you know, Thanksgiving's coming up, and we got to make sure we got it going on. So anyway, Bill's on his 50th wedding anniversary trip. They decided, and you know, he had the audacity to send me a video of him in the warm weather of Florida getting ready to go out on his cruise. And they're going to be gone for a little over a week for their 50th wedding anniversary cruise. And I think it's going to be a really nice thing for them. But he sent me a video telling me how good everything was there, and wasn't too concerned about what was going on here. So,
well, you know, the 50th anniversary, that's a big celebration. You should go out on a big boat and see a sunrise and a sunset and all that good stuff.
Well, and I don't think they get up that early, but that's all right. And they probably go to bed.
Well, maybe that's how they stayed married 50 years.
I know. They go to bed before the sunset. No, I don't think that's the case. But anyway, he'll be back here soon. But in the meantime, I have asked Melinda to help us out. And we've got a really good program today because we're going to go on another tour. And it's going to be really exciting because we're going to cook, but we're going to cook over a stone fireplace of a Pioneer kitchen. So I'm really excited to do that. I think you'll enjoy that too.
I think so. I'm looking forward to it.
We'll be cooking. I'm not sure what we're cooking yet because our host hasn't said that to me, but there'll be something on a fireplace. That's all I know. So before we go, though, Bill and I usually go over what we've been doing personally. So what can you share?
What have I been doing?
That you can share with an audience.
Of course. Well, the big thing that I'm doing now is I am involved in raising money to build a new animal shelter for the Miami County Animal Shelter. The existing building was built in 1971, so it's been around a while and very inadequate. So we're in the process of putting together the funds to build a new building.
Oh, and you're doing weird stuff.
I'm
because you're going to perform.
Lip sync contest. Oh, God help us.
Oh, he will.
I
He
know.
will.
I've got a whole entourage behind me. It is going to be so fun. And that's March the 22nd will be the big event.
That sounds like it ought to cost money, though.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're
Yep.
making money.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great organization. I got my first dog from there, you know. I went to the shelter. I was very young, and I got the dog. It was the cutest dog in the whole world, you know. And I brought the dog home, and I had it at my house. I was single at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pretty active back then. And I had my dog, and I went away, and the dog cried and cried. It was sad. And he didn't like me too much at the beginning. He didn't really know me. And so I was dealing with the dog, and I thought, after I had it for about 24 hours, I thought to myself, I think I made a mistake.
Aww.
Because I'm so busy, and I was doing theater at the time, and I was in shows and stuff, and I got to thinking, this really may not be the best answer, although I like dogs a lot. But guess what happened?
He learned where the food was coming from.
Nope. The people who put the dog at the pound, the kids got so upset that the parents called the pound and said, can we have the dog back? And they called me and said, would you be willing to give the dog back to the children? Well, how do you say no?
I know.
And I just charged them and got them
Yeah,
back.
it all worked out.
Only the cost that I had in it. So it was no big deal. And they got the dog back, and I got reprieve for a few years.
Lesson learned.
Yep. I waited a while, but now we have two, and we're still devoted to them for sure. So that's my dog thing. What else you been doing? Anything else?
Well, you know, I'm secretary at St. Paul's Church, so that keeps me pretty busy. That's every week, and of course, we're going right into the holidays. We've got a big concert coming up this Sunday.
Yeah, you're going to talk about that, aren't you?
Yeah, we'll be
A
talking
little
about
bit
that.
later.
But you know, the tickets are all gone for that already.
Oh, that's good.
That's great.
I think it's a great thing when that happens. There's a lot going on with you, and I've got some stuff going on too. We had our annual meeting for the Piqua Cola Historic District last week, and that's a big deal because we have to talk to the members of our district. We encourage everybody to show up and ask questions and to get all the pertinent information about what the historic district's doing. And then, of course, always work at the Bethany Center. I know you volunteer there, too.
I'm on the board at the Bethany Center. Yes, I am.
Oh, you're important.
Oh, I am.
You're my
yes.
boss on
Oh,
that
yes.
one then. So anyway, that's good. And we do fall harvest dinners at our house once in a while, and it's a special thing. That's been happening since I was probably 10 years old. My mom used to have a fall harvest dinner, and that just means Dad cleaned off the garden, and she has all this stuff she doesn't know what to do with. She threw it all in a pot, added some ham, and boiled it for 2.5 hours, and we all sit down and eat. And so I have continued to do that for all the years that I've been in my own home, and we have people over to do that, and that's been kind of fun this fall to be able to share with a lot of people who are good friends of ours. And then Friends of the Park Board, we're meeting now. We're talking more about the hill out there on 36 because we're really trying to make that extra special nice. And we're going to get some flowers planted, I think, so that in the spring there will be blooming flowers out there, and that'll be another part of what we've done for that. And of course, trick or treat, you know, we get around 300, and you over there at St. Paul, they had a crowd too.
We were really busy, yes.
You know, the kids go out. My wife's getting a little upset by it because she says, well, they got so many places to go, they end up with all this candy that they can't consume because they have so many different places that they can go. And I've started decorating for Christmas because I do that on Halloween trick-or-treat night. Sue's out there handing out the candy and I'm putting up the tree. So we always do that. That's kind of a tradition for both of us to do those things. And then the Piqua Caldwell Historic District has the Christmas tour coming up, and I have those tickets are on sale. And then we have family dinner out. Yesterday we went out to dinner. We went to El Sombrero because we really want to support El Sombrero because they're so good at donating also to the community. And actually that was a percentage of all the bill goes to the Bethany Center this time. So we wanted to make sure we supported that, and we took the whole family out to the El Sombrero for dinner last night, actually. So it's been a busy time, and it's going to get busier, as you know.
Oh, with the holidays, that's for sure.
So anyway, that's what is going on. Now we need to figure out what we're going to do next. I think you've got a list of activities there, and we should go through about half of those, let the audience know what's coming up here in the next few days.
Right, November the 9th, that's going to be the horse parade in Piqua. It's going to start at 7 p.m. and the horses are so beautifully decorated.
You know, that blew my mind. Everybody said horse parade, and I never went to it because I thought, well, who cares? It's just horses. And then guess what they did? They changed the route.
Went right by your house.
Goes right by the house.
They said, we got to get Don Smith involved.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. But you know what's interesting about that is after the first one, now every year we invite everybody we know to come to our house and sit on our corner because it's a great place to watch the parade.
St. Paul's opens up the doors and we make hot chocolate and have invite people to have some free hot chocolate.
Well, I'll send our peeps down there for the food.
Go for it, and then you take it back, and then everybody's happy that way.
Well, good
so
deal.
yeah, that is a beautiful time, and I don't know how many years they've been doing it. It's probably 3 or 4.
I
know
so.
they do the same thing in Greenville.
Well, that's where it all started.
That's where it started. Yeah.
But it's a good thing.
Okay, and then you did mention the on the 24th is the Friends of the Library Holiday Cabaret. Did you have anything more to say about
that's
that?
really
Are tickets still available for that?
Well, yes, the tickets are available, and it's a really nice concert. We this year we have the beginning of the concert is going to be the Piqua High School Show Choir, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think they're going to be different. They're not going to do the show choir show with the dancing and all the sparkly costumes and all that, mostly because we don't have the space for that. Mm-hmm. But I think they're going to come in and sing several good Christmas music numbers, and they're going to be, I believe they're going to be in their robes. So it'll be really nice as a start to the program, and then the Miami Valley Symphony's coming in, and they're amazing, and they're going to do the rest of the program. So it's quite a nice evening. There's a cash beverage area and some appetizers, hors d'oeuvre things, and desserts. So it makes for a really nice
How
event.
do people go about getting their tickets?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because you can get them in at the Hallmark, Reedmore Hallmark in Piqua. You know Mary Beth down there. She
is amazing. She
does
so wonderful.
everything for everybody. I mean, she's just so helpful, and she's going to be selling tickets. And of course, you know, early on they're available to the members of the Friends of the Library group, and that's a large number of people who have become members. And they can get their tickets early, and now they're available for everybody. So I encourage you all to go get your tickets for the plaza, for the cabaret. That'll be like the first big Christmas thing, you know. It's the Sunday before Thanksgiving, and it'll be a really nice event at the plaza. Kind of a little bit of a dress-up event, just makes for a nice evening, and we always enjoy that. So that's what that's about. What else you got?
Well, I wanted to mention the YWCA. We have the new YMCA, and we're all in love with that, and it is fabulous. But the YWCA is quite the little treasure. It is so important to our community, and it's been around for a long, long time. And they are going to have an event December the 11th called the Sounds of the Season. And that is Ron and Glenda Nelson, who do the Psalm 33 event at St. Paul's Church. They're going to be the entertainers at the luncheon.
Oh, that'll be nice.
And the music will fill the air with the Nelsons when they return to the YWCA. So you want to call and get reservations for that. That's important.
And I've been in there lately, and the YW, Lisa Baker gave me a tour. She's the executive director there, and she gave me a tour of all the nice things they're doing, and they really, really spruced it up and made it really nice. We're really lucky in Piqua that we have 2 really great Ys.
We are.
The YMCA, which of course is brand new and beautiful, and the YWCA, which has been refurbished and just looks really amazing too, and both have great programs.
And I'll tell you a little secret. Everybody says, oh, Melinda, you look so young. You are in such good shape. I've been taking yoga at the YWCA probably for 10, 12 years. And so I would invite anyone who feels that they need a light exercise program to join us at the Y. That's Monday nights and it starts around 6:15, 6:30. Stop in. You'll be glad you did, because it's learning how to breathe and relax and deal with all this stress of the holidays.
Do you have to do anything stressful?
One of the teachers, Katie Nardecchia, she's from the Vandalia area. One of the things she stresses is this, Dawn, this is your exercise. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. But she will show you how to do the different moves and postures, and we have some fellows that take it.
Well, good for them.
We do have some fellows in all ages.
You know, when the word exercise is involved, I usually step out.
I know.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
I really do enjoy it.
So have you got anything else going on?
Well, let's see. Let's look down this magic list here. We have in Tip City on November the 23rd at 5 p.m. That's when they have their Christmas parade and tree lighting. And November the 26th in the drawing room of the Troy Hayner Cultural Center. That's a mouthful.
Oh, it is.
They're
Beautiful
going to
place.
have some entertainment.
You know, the Troy Hayner Center is where I had my wedding reception.
Did you?
Oh yeah, it was really
That
nice.
is a beautiful facility.
It was
This is
nice.
really nice
Yeah,
that
we
they
were gonna-
redid that.
We were going to have 35 people and just have a really nice small wedding.
How many showed up?
150, but it was okay. I mean,
The word got out.
by then we knew we were going to have a larger number, but when we first decided to get married, we talked about just having a small, intimate little wedding ceremony and reception, and all our friends would come up and go, "We can hardly wait to come to your wedding," and they weren't on the list, you know. So then we'd end up putting them on the list. Pretty soon we had 150, and that was the max you were allowed to have.
Oh,
and
wow.
every person we invited, except for one person, showed up.
Wow.
Except one person, and he lived in Chicago. So I think I can
You
understand
can, you
that.
can excuse that. Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was a while back. I haven't got my 50 yet, but I'm gone. And Bill's going to be sitting here, and I'm going to be gone somewhere. I don't know where. So anyway, is that about half of them?
Well, that's about half of them, yeah.
Okay. And then we'll get back to those a little bit later. But I really want to get out there to the farm and be ready to be out there with Jim.
I'm
and do some
excited.
cooking. I know. It's Jim Bryan and his farm, and we're going to go there. So you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Well, let's go.
Let's do
So-
this. All right.
Well, here's the farm.
This is
You
beautiful.
know, did you see that there's actually a dinner bell up there?
No, I didn't
Actually,
see that.
It's the actual farm dinner bell.
Oh,
and,
my
And
goodness.
I happen to know for a fact it works.
Wow.
So that's really cool.
That's impressive.
So we're at the Bryan farm, and we're going to see what he's cooking.
Oh, boy. I can smell it already.
Well, it's probably because of that fireplace. Let's hope he's home. Look, there's a little bell there too. Hello, Jim. What's cooking?
Well, come in and
Hi,
find
Jim.
out.
Okay, we're gonna come on in. Well, we finally made it to the farmhouse kitchen. This is one of the coolest places that I know that I've been, because it's an actual working pioneer style kitchen. And Jim Bryan is our host today, and Melinda and I are going to be here watching Jim. He's been working on the fireplace, getting some food ready for us. It's going to be real an interesting situation. Jim, what you making?
We're making venison stew.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the vegetables we grew on the farm, the onions, the carrots,
Potato.
and the potatoes.
Right here is a plate of the kinds of things that he's been working with that are cooking in our stew over here, I assume.
Yes.
So, and look at all the vegetables you got. All this stuff came from the farm, didn't it?
Yeah, these are just kind of left over at the end of the year. And we have a pie in the
At the bottom?
Dutch oven.
At the bottom.
Yeah. And it's made out of dried apples.
Okay.
We dry a lot of apples on the farm here.
Wasn't that interesting? And so this is how, back in the day, people kept their food for the winters.
So how did you dry the apples?
You can dry them out in the sun is probably the best way to do it. And corn the same way.
Now, is that popcorn, sweet corn? What is that?
That's sweet corn.
That's sweet corn dried?
Yeah.
Well, what do you do with that?
You just put it in water and cook it, and it swells back up just like regular corn.
Really? Well, let me see that, because at our house, I try to find corn like this, because you know what I do with it? Put it in popcorn.
Yeah.
When you make popcorn, take a handful of this, put it in the popcorn, and it puffs,
You
but
mean
it doesn't
parched
puff. It parches it like corn nuts. It's really good, and this is not easy to come by, and you have to almost dry it on the vine to get it like that, don't you?
Yeah, that's right.
But you just hang them up on a wire or something?
Yes.
And let them dry that way? That's really
And-
interesting.
And those are called leather britches. That's just green beans dried.
Beans, leather breeches.
And all this stuff can be reconstituted just by boiling it in water?
Yes. We've got a lot of it in jars
Oh, yeah.
of different things, from mushrooms to berries to different things that people years ago had. These kind of things will keep mostly all winter, cabbage will.
Like in
and
a-
the squash.
Don't you have a place to put down in?
Cold
where you can keep,
cellar?
Yeah, we have a cellar under our house.
Okay.
and so that's where you keep all of those things? So that's really interesting, and you've got all kinds of good canned stuff, because there's apple. Oh,
Yeah, applesauce and pickles, and this is zucchini bread made out of that.
oh,
And that I made that last night,
really?
about midnight.
Well, it's amazing to me, because I know you and I have a love of canning. And we can a lot of things. And I've been very, very fortunate, because Jim will bring stuff and drop it at my door and say, figure out what to do with it. And I can it. And we have had some really good stuff, making pickles and just all kinds of good things.
Yeah, those are lime pickles.
Oh, I like lime pickles.
Yeah, I do too.
That'll be a
They're
good thing.
crunchy, aren't they?
Yeah, they're more crunchy.
Now, I've done some canning, but not for a long, long time.
Well, you know, there are certain foods I won't eat any other way. I like canned green beans. I don't like bought green beans in the, fresh ones are okay because you can cook them.
Right.
But when you go to buying canned green beans at the grocery
I'm
store,
with you. Yeah.
they just don't do it for me. So I usually can around 35 quarts of green beans.
And we've got about 80 quart in the cellar.
Yeah.
We've got approximately 600 cans of canned stuff down there.
And see, the difference between Jim and me, when our kids come to visit, they know where it's all sitting. And they go down and they shop like a
themselves.
grocery store, yeah.
Well, mine do too.
So now tell me about this. So you're cooking all this over here.
Yes.
How long do you have to cook that?
It cooks 3 hours, something like that.
3 hours?
Yeah.
And the pie, I've never seen a pie be cooked in the fireplace. So does that take a longer time too?
No, about 45 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
And you've got embers on top? You had embers on top?
Yes. And you just,
Oh my,
Lick them off.
isn't that interesting? Oh my. That's what his wife said. I talked to her the other day and she said, he really has taken good care of her. Look how nice that looks.
Wow.
Oh my. You know, when I first saw it, you know what I thought it was?
What?
I thought it was maybe raisin pie.
Uh-huh.
Because I haven't
'Cause it's
seen
dark.
I haven't seen a raisin pie in a long time. And I was thinking that might be because it's got that darker look to it. But it looks really good, Jim.
and
Now,
you,
how many jars of dried apples would it take to make that?
one.
Just one? They swell up. Okay.
Now, do you constitute them first? Put them in water and get them solid and then put them in the pie? Or do you?
Yes. Yeah, I put them in water and put them on the stove and boil them.
Oh.
Boiling. And then you just put them in there.
Okay. Drain the water off so you
Yeah.
don't have too much liquid and then put them in. And then your other spices or whatever you're going to put in there with it.
Yes, here, let me cut it for you.
Oh, boy.
Oh, we don't want that.
Oh, no.
I don't know if it'll be good or not.
Well, you know, I'm sure it's going to be acceptable. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
It's looking really good. And you cooked that right there on that fireplace. I'm
Yeah.
really impressed. Oh, look at that, Melinda.
Yum.
Does that not look? Oh,
Boy,
does that not? That's good. We can share because I'm going to get fattened up. Get some forks over there, Melinda. We got to try this.
all right.
Yeah.
We're going to try this piece.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
do
not sure how that'll be.
Let's
but,
see what this does for us. Oh boy.
I don't know how hot it's going to be.
It's. I don't think it's.
No, it's
It's
not real
warm.
hot. That is good.
Oh my. Well, you know, our forefathers did okay, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
The
I can
food was
imagine
good.
coming in from working out in the field and coming into a nice dinner and a
Well, I do want to point out something. You're a woman. It would have been your job to do all this while we're out there
I know.
working in the fields.
I know. Well, you know, I have some relatives that did all that, so I can understand what you're
That's
saying.
delicious.
Is it good?
Oh my goodness.
And
It wasn't an easy life for anybody, was it?
I'm sucking up on pie. I don't care what. You just keep talking. You're in charge of talking.
I'm
So
in charge of talking.
And there's zucchini bread too.
Oh, we'll have to give that a try.
this is delicious, though.
Is it?
Good. Boy, Bill picked a fine time to leave for vacation, didn't he? Oops.
And,
Well, I will know that he's in the sunshine in the Caribbean.
yeah.
So
and there's applesauce. Now we made 28 pint
want a
applesauce
bite?
this year.
there's a fork for you. We got to give AJ some food. By the way, AJ, I was thinking about this. You always like to talk with us, and I don't mind that, but you need a microphone too sometimes.
I know. I just gotta put one on.
Do you want me to ladle out some soup, some stew?
We're having our dessert
Yeah,
first.
but I can't
Yeah,
have
have
too
your
much.
dessert
Can't
first.
have too much. Oh, this is delicious, though. That pie is really good.
Well, good.
Oh, wait, what kind of nuts are in this?
What kind of what?
Nuts do you have in your zucchini bread?
They're black walnuts.
Oh,
Are they grown on the farm too?
black
Yeah.
walnuts.
I've never had black one.
Oh, they're altogether different than every other kind of nut.
We have two big black walnut trees. One's right here and one's out in front.
Do you
A lot
actually
of
peel
woods.
those walnuts? Oh my
Do we? Yeah.
AJ, I cut you a piece, and it's got a nut in it because I want you to make sure you get the nut.
Do you want me to ladle that out or wait till he can take a picture of it?
Oh, my mouth's full.
I got a video of it. You're good.
Okay.
Another bite, Don?
No, you can go
You're
ahead.
done? Okay. All right. Going, gone.
Black walnuts are completely different flavor,
Don't be good.
and your zucchini bread is
It's
delicious.
almost like
Ooh, that's beautiful.
that was almost like cinnamon, and like almost like a roasted nut. It's so good.
So here's the stew that's been cooking for 3 hours, right?
Yes.
And it's really hot.
That is hot.
Well, I'm going to set it down for a second because I think we ought to have another taste of this. Would you want to taste
Is it typical that the
fingers?
frontier,
Fingers, there you go.
frontier that you eat your dessert first?
Well, sure. But you know, my mother-in-law, that was her favorite thing to do. She always liked the dessert more than anything else. And when we had parties for her birthdays and stuff, we always served the dessert first.
Now the corn that you were talking about hanging up there is the way you shell it out and parch it, or else you can just.
But I bought some at the grocery store, and I did that. And it was dinky little pieces when it was done. It wasn't like what I wanted.
You bought it from the store.
That turns into what you
Over
have
there.
in your jar?
Yeah, you
Okay.
just shell it off the cob.
Be darned.
And you should get some and put it in homemade
might
popcorn.
do
It's
that.
delicious
I
in the
might
pop.
just do that.
Just like a tablespoonful in the thing.
Does it like puff up like puffs or something?
Like
that?
nuts.
Like,
Like puffing. It doesn't pop
Yeah, those-
open. It's just corn nuts. When you buy corn nuts, it's
Yeah,
kind
they're
of like
crunchy.
that, but it tastes way better.
It looks like a kind of like a peanut, only brown.
okay. Yeah.
Can I tell you a secret? I don't like zucchini bread,
Oh, really?
but that doesn't even give me the indication of zucchini bread. That is, as you can tell, I ate all the rest of that. It's delicious. No, normally, you know, everybody makes zucchini bread. They all go after it and all that. But yours, that is delicious.
Well, wonderful. And we have sage that we dry. That's one of those.
Oh yeah,
And
right,
of course
right there in the
that's-
middle.
Okay.
Yeah, and then dill is that first
over there. Yeah, I've got some dill drying right now at home.
And we have mint, and so we dry those and put them in things.
Well, I've been very fortunate to have been invited here for dinner on more than one occasion, and I can't tell you how amazing it is because it's the old way. It's the real food that I grew up with my grandparents.
Yeah.
Because today's modern stuff is altogether different. And carrots, you know, I thought carrots were carrots. And so we go to the grocery store, we buy a bag of carrots. I never buy those little ones.
Yeah.
Because they've been too much done to them, processed. So I just buy a whole pile of carrots, and I brought them home, and I ate carrots, and everything's all good. And then Jim brought me carrots from the garden. There's a completely different taste. And we actually had a thing over at the Catholic school. They took two kinds of carrots and had kids taste them. Every one of the kids realized the difference between homegrown and prepared versus the stuff you buy at the grocery store. It's just so completely different.
Well, I never have any luck growing carrots in the garden.
Really?
My ground is, I guess, too hard. You need to work it more, work some.
Either that or you plant them too thick.
Then you have to pull a lot out. Is what
you
do.
might mix your seed with like cornmeal,
Okay.
and then it'll scatter it better. It's hard to scatter it but that helps.
Now we need to say something about this. Jim is doing this here, and I know this coming week he's going to be having an apple butter event, and I know that there'll be food cooking in this fireplace for that. But we also need to say he has a real kitchen. A modern day kitchen in the other part of the house. But to me, this is the real kitchen of this house.
What's the age of this kitchen?
This kitchen was built around maybe a little before 1912 or 1812.
1812. Okay.
Yeah, because Daniel.
Early settlers then.
Yeah.
Well, look at these stones for the floor.
Daniel Valentine, he was a blacksmith, and that's what you're going to check this afternoon. And he built this part first, and then he built the big house in 1830. And it's registered in the county.
1830. As we were walking up, that house was 1830. Is that amazing?
That is amazing. See,
And he has a ring doorbell on the front.
St. Paul's Church was established in 1837. That's when it started.
About the same time.
Yeah, about the same time.
Okay, now here's the thing. It's time to ring the bell because
It's time to eat some
the main course
stew.
here.
Yeah.
So I think we should ring the bell. What do you think?
I think
Would you
so.
like to be the bell ringer?
I can try.
You want me to hold you up?
Okay, here we go. Dinner time.
That's how you
They'll
call.
be coming in from all
Oh.
over now.
Yeah.
All the neighbors are coming. Well, back in the day, thrashing machine. And they did the thrashing. I bet that was used to
That was
bring
one
everybody
machine.
in. The ladies would have had the food all prepared, ready to go, and ring the bells, and in you come. So, well, go for it. Let me take this
right,
plate
all
from
right.
you. So you got your fork.
I got my fork.
Because you know you don't want to have more than one fork. That's just too many dishes to wash, and you got to wash them in a dish pan when you're in the commercial kitchen or in this kitchen.
Do you want a bowl of soup?
I'll take it.
And Don, do you want one then for
No,
your?
I'm not going to. I can't eat that much food because we still have things to do here. But I'm going to try it.
Oh my gosh, that is so good. That meat's so tender. So how long has that actually been cooking?
About 3 hours, maybe 4.
You had to get up awfully early to do this.
One nice thing about
Thank you.
One thing nice about cooking over a fireplace, you don't have to dial your stove up and down. You just move the crane in and out.
Okay, all right.
But you have to know what you're doing because, you know, you can burn things in
Yeah,
there.
you really can.
So it's really amazing.
I like that the coals are a nice steady heat.
Yeah.
I would think that would be kind of hard to accomplish.
And it's good, the Dutch oven is fine to cook in. You remember St. Mary's Catholic Church at the Heritage Festival, made pies, Or was that bread?
I honestly don't remember which things they made, but I know they were cooking. And,
Yeah.
and St. Paul's, what did St. Paul's cook out there? Do you remember?
We had the chicken and the noodles.
Okay.
And the hot apple dumplings. But we cooked them at the church and brought them out, sorry.
Yeah. Well, most generally we do that. Now the bread at or whatever they cooked at St. Mary's, I remember they made a pit in the ground and they would put the Dutch oven down there.
Down in the ground.
But they made pies other than that because they sold pies.
Yeah. You couldn't have 2 or 3 pies and take care of the crowd. So.
Yeah, that's right.
But it just kind of amazes me. We were over to the AJ let us go over to the Fort Rowdy in Covington, and they were cooking on fires outside.
Oh, really?
All different kinds of things, and it was really interesting because they had the same kind of thing going on, and they were staying out there for a while. So it was really, really interesting to watch that happen. But you just don't see places like this unless you go to a museum. And here you are at home.
When the people moved here, they would have taken their gun down, went out when they saw a deer or a bear or a whatever they wanted to shoot, because most of their food they had forage for. Mm-hmm. And they had the candle moles. They had to make. They didn't have kerosene back then. Candlelight was the only light you had.
And you used fat.
Used fat.
Yep.
You
yep.
didn't waste anything, did you?
And it was smoky, and they would cut a hive tree and get the honey out of it, and they would melt. They could have good candles then from beeswax, but most of it was fat, was tallow candles.
Well, my grandmother, I remember, made soap.
Yeah.
And she did it out in what we called the wash kitchen, which was a completely separate building, because the smell of boiling fat and lye and all the stuff that's put into that really doesn't smell that good in your house. So she had a special place where she would do that. Mm-hmm. That's also, by the way, where we went and took a bath.
Yeah.
Metal tub.
Mm-hmm.
She'd put water in it, and you would get in that tub and take your bath.
Yeah, my Amish relatives still do that. They have a summer kitchen, and they have a crane with a big culvert, a big butchering kettle on it. And every day they build a fire in that and heat that water, and you can swing it around and put it down on the floor, and you use it for cooking, you use it for water. That was your hot water every day for your meals.
Well, we did that too at my grandma's, because she had a stove that was a wood-burning cooking stove,
Yeah.
and the side had a reservoir. And she put water in the reservoir, and that's how they got their hot water. Because hot water heaters were not in existence during this time.
Now, my mother had a Ringer washing machine, but she put a big double boiler, they called them, and
Copper.
fill them with water.
Copper.
And she'd bucket it out and put it in her. And then she used Phil naphtha soap, and she would shave it.
Yep.
Well, see, that's where my grandma's soap came in, because my mom swore that made the clothes whiter than any other way, using that soap that Grandma made. So we saved it for special.
I worked with my grandma on a setup like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what she
was-
got.
It's really delicious. Everything has been so good, and it's just amazing to me that this is how people lived. Of course, do you see a TV? Do you see a computer? Do you see all those distractions that we have today, which take us away from all of this into a whole different realm? And sometimes I envy that.
I have my degree in education, but I chose not to use a computer. My boy, I went to Edison down here and took a course. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I had an Apple computer, and they use, I don't know, it was IBM or something. It was different, and that's different.
Yeah.
So I know some things about a computer, but
Well, I use a computer, but it really is sad that our younger generations live on electronics and don't really get to enjoy.
Well, let's
these
boil
kind of
it
things.
down to the bottom line.
You stand here and talk, 'cause I wanna go get more food.
If we have to do without a computer,
wanna
we could
taste the
get by.
pickles.
But if we don't know how to
Want some
cook
more?
and take care of ourselves, we have a problem. So it's good to have this knowledge of being able to take care of
Yeah.
yourself. If the local Kroger's would happen to go
Well,
out of business and
We're
You know-
coming out to gyms.
You
if
know,
that happens.
that's what I think about. Is it's true. On my board of directors, Chuck Curran, he'd been a state senator, and he was chairman of the city commissioners of in Dayton, and was a wonderful, wonderful man. He's still living, and he's a county commissioner now in Greene County, I think. And he said the biggest fear we need to have in America is the electronic grid going out.
Yep.
And he said it will.
yeah.
He said it's inevitable. Well, you know, we probably would endure in this area, you know, in Piqua. But how about New York City?
Yes.
Oh, but
Chaos.
our water system in the city is all run electronically. So
Like you have your own power grid.
Yeah.
it gets the power grid, you're in trouble. But we need to say something too. Jim has been a lot of things in his lifetime. A barber, I know of.
Yeah.
A farmer, I know now. And he was also the person who established a school for young men, boys, who were in a bad way in their families. They weren't getting along with parents and things like that. And Jim developed a farm called Operation Rebirth. And he would there would be 8 to 10 kids,
8 to 10
boys, and they would go to the farm and live. And they lived the farm life because they did the butchering, they planted gardens, but they also went to school. And Jim started that program. And he got a lot of those young boys turned around to the point where they could go back to their families and live
Oh, that's
productively afterwards.
That is
So Jim has a big old heart and I think a special place after this life
And
because of all that work.
and I was mayor of my town.
Oh, you were mayor? I didn't.
Yeah, I was mayor of Scott. Yeah, when I went off to college, I'd barbered. Well, when I quit barbering, it was 9.5 years.
Time.
And I started
You're right.
I went off to college and got my degree in education and Bible. It was Bible college. And then started the ministry.
Jim's a special person. And, you know, I got to know him at a church, and I got to know him because of other members of my family. And we've become good friends for a long time. And earlier in the program, I think I talked about having the fall harvest dinner. And in the past number of years, Jim has always brought the vegetables and things from the farm, and we would cook those for this group of people. Sadly, this year, I told Jim, I said, don't worry about it. His wife was at that point incapacitated. I said, we'll take care of it another way. And one day I opened the front door of the house and there were the vegetables on the porch. Aww. So even though he didn't get to come to have the dinner, he was still a part of our fall harvest.
By the way, that's got lemonade in it if you're thirsty.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
we might have to have some
a
lemonade before we take the
meal.
tour because we're
Absolute
about ready
complete
to
meal.
wrap up here.
Wow.
But let me do that. Would you like some lemonade?
I would love some. Thank you.
The dishes go on the counter there,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
down on the bench. Oh, look at this.
Thank
There you go.
Thank you.
AJ, would you like some lemonade?
You guys go ahead.
We got permission.
Jason or AJ doesn't drink on the job.
Yeah. And I think
Would you like some lemonade?
you two are the cupbearers, I guess. If you don't keel over, then he'll drink some.
Ah, yeah.
Well, I
watch
would.
too many TV shows and movies to know all of the tricks. You know?
I would like to make a toast to our host who did a great job of showing us what the past was like and that this farm still is here. So thank you, Jim. I
Jim.
appreciate it
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
And we're having lemonade.
I am so glad I got to do this today.
And Bill's all upset
That's not.
because he wanted to do it.
Is that your hubby?
No, Bill's his regular.
the usual
host.
co-host.
Oh, the
His
usual
regular
guy.
host.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Like everything was good. Bill should be upset.
This is yes. This is really good. You know what I think would be neat if we could bring some children, not necessarily bring
Yeah.
them here, but in some way show them how to dry the corn, and then after the process happens, that they get to reconstitute it, make some popcorn.
Well, you know,
wouldn't that be fun?
You could do that with
Our group,
with one of your
church-
summer
church groups?
or your. I want to see what this is. What is this? Oh, I know that. It's a butter thing.
Yeah, that's a
How you keep butter?
yeah, that's a butter. What
Butter
they call
warmer?
it?
See, you put the butter in there.
Look at that.
No, it's not a warmer. This is how you keep butter without refrigeration.
Yeah,
Because you see, when you drop that down in there, it's in water.
Okay.
And that seals it.
Oh.
So it's actually almost like canned.
they
in
call that a butter bell.
Yeah.
In fact, we bought that at the Heritage Festival.
Oh, all right.
The guy made those, and he was amazing.
And most people don't know what that is.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed. That
Wait,
could have,
do you
that
have
could
a
been one
s-
of your contests.
Do you have a salt pig? A salt pig is a similar thing. Has a little handle on top and an open cut side. And you put
Okay.
your salt in it and you can pick it up and you take your salt and you salt with your fingers. You don't use salt shakers.
We might have one of those. we do have salt savers. You know those little ones that
yeah.
you put by each plate.
Yeah.
Little cups.
But salt pigs, that's what, I have a salt pig at home because I don't salt with a salt shaker normally. I just use my fingers and do it that way. Well,
Wow.
how would you like to cook like that?
Oh my gosh, I am so glad that we don't have to. That was a lot of work.
I know, and poor Jim is really, he was out there cooking up a storm, and I know it took some time, way ahead of time to get ready for us. And you know what he's doing next week, and he's probably talked about a little bit a minute ago, but he's going to have an apple butter thing he's doing outside, and he's got people he's invited, and we all have to go and stir.
Oh, what fun.
I know, we stir for hours, and then we get to eat. So that's all part of the
Grandma
fun, too.
always told me not to stir the pot.
Well, you know, when you're making apple butter, you not only have to stir it continuously so it doesn't
Scorch.
but he puts silver or copper pennies in it, and that way it keeps it on the bottom. It works the bottom so it doesn't stick.
Okay.
I didn't know that. So if you ever get a copper penny in your apple butter, you know why.
You know
it was
where it
there.
came from.
Yep. So it was interesting, and it was fun to watch Jim at work. Melinda, do you have any other events that you can share with us?
There is so much going on. Did I lose that list? You're going to shoot me. Here we go.
You
Yes.
can't train them, you know. They just have to do it.
There
you
is,
go.
there's so much going on. It's simply because it's the doggone holidays. I mean, if we go to Tip City on November the 28th, you can take part in the turkey trot. Now, if you didn't like the yoga, you're probably not going to dig.
Well, I don't know. I thought the turkeys were going to trot down Main Street. or
Well,
something.
you could probably chase
'Cause,
them. You
know,
got
we
this one.
We
yeah.
got our turkey.
And that is from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's in Tip City. And you can find all the information on all these websites.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
And-
best
and
way to
AJ's
do.
going to put those all up on the list at
Yeah.
the end, which makes it really nice for everybody.
Right.
So get
And-
your pens ready.
Yeah, be ready. On November the 29th, from 5 to 8 p.m. in downtown Troy, they're going to have their grand illumination, and that's on Proudy Plaza.
Oh, yeah, right
Okay,
downtown.
Right downtown. And November the 29th through December the 1st at the Miami County Fairgrounds, there's like a little craft show. You can go in and buy gifts and special items, and that's at the Miami County Fairground, December 1st. And also November the 30th through December the 1st, Troy, Ohio on Route 41, they have the holiday lights that you can drive through at Lost Creek. Have you ever done that?
No, but I should.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's really nice.
Lost
It's
Creek
got a lot of fun.
Reserve is
Lost
a
Creek
nice
Reserve.
place, and
yeah.
I bet they have it all decorated.
I'll bet they do too. And of course, December the 7th, downtown Pickle will have their downtown Christmas parade. That's when Santa comes to town.
Oh, you know, back in the day, you used to ride the ladder truck.
Yes.
You know, and we
yes.
haven't had a ladder truck for a long time. But guess what?
What?
Pickwood just got one.
Oh,
So I'm wondering if Santa will be on the truck.
I bet he will be.
I'm
We
kind
can
of
look for it.
I'm kind of hoping he is. If
I
you know
don't think-
if you know some of Santa's peeps, you should ask them
I
about
should
that.
ask that,
So that they
yeah.
would do that. You know, one of the things that we always do.
What?
Well, I try to catch Bill by surprise.
Surprise.
Yeah, so I'm going to
Surprise,
catch you by
Bill.
surprise. We're going to do a birthday.
Okay.
Not doing a whole bunch of birthdays because we don't have a lot of time, because we spent a good deal of time out there cooking up a storm. So now we're going to have a birthdays, and I got this one birthday that I put together, and you're not allowed to look at the paper
Okay,
because you
I
have
won't
to answer
look.
the questions.
I won't look. I won't look.
So this person is Karen Elaine Johnson. Very famous person.
Okay.
Karen Elaine Johnson. Caryn. I guess that's Karen. She was born a while back. And I'm going to ask you pretty soon what her age is, and then I'll tell you that part. She's an actress, producer, writer, and sometimes she's a little controversial. Her mother was a teacher and a nurse. Isn't that nice? And her dad was a clergyman.
Wow.
Now you're going to get more ideas of who she is, because she starred in The Color Purple, Ghost, and Sister Act 1.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Look at Whoopi Goldberg. Her real name is Karen Elaine Johnson.
Oh my goodness.
She doesn't
Who
look like a
knew?
Karen Elaine Johnson.
No, she does not.
She looks like Whoopi.
She looks like Whoopi.
So anyway,
Only Whoopi could look like Whoopi.
That's exactly right. Well,
There's not too many Whoopi lookalikes.
No, there's not.
Oh.
You know what's interesting though? I liked Sister Act.
Oh, I
And
did too.
Sister Act 1 was really good. Then I saw Sister Act 2
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that was okay. But I didn't even know there was a Sister Act 3. So I'm going to have to look that up, see if it's on Netflix, and watch Sister Act 3. So how old do you think she is?
Whoopi Goldberg is 78 years old.
Oh, she would smack you. She's not close to 78.
Really?
No. She was born in 1955.
Wow.
On this day in
She's about
1955.
68 years old. then.
69.
69.
Yep,
okay.
she is 69 years old. A little on the crotchety side at times. Perfect for her age, huh?
Well, you
So
know,
anyway,
you get to be a certain age, you just, whatever comes into the brain comes out the mouth.
well, that's what our problem
And I'm there.
That's what our problem is right here. But
Yes.
you know, the real truth, you know, I really like her performance. And she's in Blue Bloods a lot of the time. She's been in Blue Bloods, and my wife binge watches Blue Bloods pretty much every day. She really likes it. And Whoopi's in there every once in a while and causing grief for poor guys. But anyway, I like her acting style, and I'm not as fond of her personal opinions.
But we can say that about a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be fond of some of your
I don't
opinions.
like all your opinions.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So anyway, birthdays, that's it for the birthdays, because I thought we were probably going to be tight on time, and by golly, I was right. So, Melinda, you're supposed to be doing your next part here.
Oh, what is it? Did I lost
Wow.
it. I lost the paper again.
Well,
Give me your paper. Give me your paper. Are we having fun yet? I think we are. Where's it at? Yep. Remember, what's happening in Miami County is new on the 2nd and the 4th Wednesday of each month.
That was Bill, you know,
That was
because he
Bill.
always tells you how you can find us, and we're on the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays of every month. And AJ's got us playing every night at 6 o'clock, so it's all exciting. Piqua Station, or you can watch us on YouTube. Channel 5 at 6 or YouTube, and if you put it in YouTube, there's a lot of ways you can find it on YouTube. I put in what's happening in Miami County video, and there it is. And you can binge watch if you want to, because all our programs are on there. So anyway, that's how you find us. If you want to send us a note or go to the website and send us some information, we'd be happy to get that, and we would be happy to put it on the next program. You know, it's difficult for us because we have to find all these events that are coming up. If you let us know that you have one, we'll talk about that too. And like the PS33 thing that's coming up over at St. Paul's Church, that's a beautiful, I'm going to say multi-county wide event because there are performers going to be in from all around the area. There's a lot of musicians.
I think this is the third one that they've put together, and it's
And
very
they-
successful.
And they sell them out.
Yes, yes.
So, and they're free, but you get
Free
tickets.
tickets.
And the tickets are all gone.
Gone.
So that's the end of that, but that's a good event too. So I'm Don Smith.
And I am Melinda Silman.
And what's
What's
happening
happening? Miami County. Good job.